Hi, it's Linda, and I have a new WW Weight Watcher friendly recipe that I created called Mediterranean pizza. And I was visiting with my daughter the other day. I was out of town for 3 days, and she made this Mediterranean pizza that she's made before, and it was so good. And then when I put it into my Weight Watcher app, of course the points were not as friendly as we thought, because even though it said healthy, it still had quite a few points. So then I showed my daughter on my app how you can tweak a recipe, and I substituted different things and brought it down to half the points of what hers was, if not actually less, because we're going to make our own hummus, which this hummus recipe is 0 points on the green and the blue. I'm not quite sure on the purple on this, but the full recipe of the pita, well, they're on pita bread of the Mediterranean pizzas. It's only 5 WW points per pizza, or it is 7 if you're on the green plan. Trying to put those all in there for you guys. Anyway, so I tweaked it. We're going to make our own hummus. So the first part of this you'll see in the recipe is making the hummus. Super simple. If you have a food processor or a blender, it'd be so easy. So moving forward, on the recipe for the hummus, we're going to have cumin, lemon, chickpeas, garbanzo beans, some non-fat Greek yogurt, some minced garlic, and a pinch of salt. That's what's going to go in here to make the hummus. That's going to be 0 points. Then after I make that, it's going to go onto the pita pockets, and the other ingredients are going to be reduced fat, feta cheese, some fresh mint from my garden. You can use fresh mint or you can use fresh basil, either one. Some red pepper, some olives. I've pre-measured them out, so I'll explain it to you when I get there. And some Roma tomatoes. The Roma tomatoes are the best kind for this kind of a recipe. My daughter said if you don't use Roma and use the other, you're supposed to take the seeds out or something. But I like Roma, so I got Roma. And then this is one thing you really need to scan. The pita pockets, the ones my daughter got, we scanned them. They were 6 points each. The Sara Lee, because I've made Sara Lee pockets before, are only 2 points. I ordered these online since I'm still kind of, staying sheltered, and they brought me the wheat ones, and I'm like, oh man, but the Sara Lee wheat ones are only 2 also. So that's what's going to go in here. There's a couple little options I'm going to throw in that my daughter didn't do, and I'm going to put some sliced mushrooms, and I'm also going to put a little Canadian bacon, because it's only, you can have 4 slices, so that would be 1 chopped up per pita pizza, and it's only 1 point, and it doesn't even change the point value of the recipe. So we like to have a little meat with our stuff, especially my husband. If you're a vegetarian, you just don't, or vegan, whatever they call them, I don't know. Anyway, you don't have to put Canadian bacon in. My daughter didn't, and it was wonderful. It tasted real good. And then at the end, we'll spritz a little bit of olive oil on it. This is another way you can save on your points. Instead of pouring olive oil over or drizzling olive oil over, which many times we don't always measure, if you spritz it, I went ahead and figured out about how many tablespoons, and actually I was pretty lenient, giving more tablespoons, I think, than what I'm going to spritz on the end when it's done. So moving forward, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start to make the hummus now. Trying to maybe talk too fast because I work on this stuff all day, and then right before my husband gets home, I'm finally getting a chance to film. It's a lot of work setting everything up, but I love it. I'm staying below my WW goal over 2 years now. I've lost 80 pounds, and I enjoy making these recipes. Once I get everything all put up, my lights and everything, because it's a one woman show here. But I hope it blesses you. I've been doing this a year now. I can't believe it's been a year since my family encouraged me to do these. I have 87 or 88 videos now on YouTube, and it helps keep me accountable. I know it's keeping many accountable that have wrote me. So I hope this is a blessing to you. And you can always find my recipe at my website. There's no pop-up ads, nothing on any of this. My website is amazinghealthyrecipe.com. I will have that at the end of the video, so don't worry about it. So I'm going to move along. I'm going to make the hummus now and fast forward while I do it. Okay, so for the hummus recipe, I took my can of chickpeas, I put them in a little strainer and put them underneath the water and rinsed them off really good, because you want to drain them and rinse them off real good. Throw it here in my food processor. I love my food processor. For years, I didn't use one. I quit using them. I kind of quit cooking a few years ago and just got out of the habit of it. And I think I actually gave it away. It was an old one. Finally invested in another one about a year and a half ago. This thing sits on my counter. I use it all the time. Awesome. They're a lot easier to clean and make recipes in it now. So the next item on my, this is my chickpeas. I think I showed them to you. Next item I'm going to add is 1/8 of a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. I just opened this one, so I wanted to stir it up a little bit. And it has to be plain, non-fat Greek yogurt to make this recipe zero. It's going to taste really good, so even if you get a little more in it, it doesn't matter, because it's 0 points if you're on the blue plan, and I think the green. I don't know for sure. I'm on the blue plan. I just know how much the recipe ends up, how many points towards the end, because I was able to figure that out by clicking on and off the different plans so I could get the point value for you guys, and then getting back on my blue plan. It's a little bit of work, but everybody always asks me what are the points for the others, and you always need to plug in stuff yourself just to make for sure that recipes are correct. Now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, or if you have fresh garlic, 2 cloves of garlic. Then a pinch of cumin, and I like to stick my fingers in, but I actually have a little measuring spoon, a little tiny little thing, and it says pinch. And I like cumin, so I'm going to put a little bit more than that in there. And then I took the lemon and juiced it. Need 2 tablespoons of lemon. These little quarter cup measuring cups I just love because it has the tablespoons. It's 4 tablespoons. So I've got 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. It's going to go in there now. And then 1/4 teaspoon of salt or less, depending upon how much salt you like. Now what I'm going to do, I'll fast forward this, but I'm going to put this on and I'm just going to blend it until this is all blended, and then I'm going to set it aside and I'll go on to putting the pizza together. Here we go. Okay, I finished making the hummus. It tastes really good. I can't believe it's 0 points. I'm going to keep this recipe for sure. Anyway, okay, now I'm going to start putting together the pizzas. While the hummus was blending in my food processor, I just kept it going while I thinly sliced up 3 tomatoes. I don't think I needed 3. It was 2 to 3. I figured I'll do 3. Well, if we have any left, I'll put it in salad. I diced up or sliced up thin slices of red onion. And then optional, I don't have this on the recipe, but we like mushrooms, so I sliced up some thin mushrooms. And I'm going to add some Canadian bacon. This is optional also. It will not raise the points. 4 slices of this is only 1 point. And when I put it into the recipe, it didn't change it. So I want a little bit of meat on ours, so I'm going to dice this up. And we're going to get started right now. I'm going to dice it up and then I'll be right back. Okay, I finished dicing up my Canadian bacon. So I've got all my stuff here. I'm just going to start layering it. So this recipe makes 4. I'm only going to make 2, but I'm going to have ingredients left over. So we might have this again tomorrow night because it's going to be so yummy. Or I might make 2, and if my husband wants another one, they're only 5 points. So depending upon how many points he has, or if he just doesn't care, then he can have another one. Or I might have another one because I actually have a lot of points left today. But before, oh, by the way, I am going to use my air fryer oven, and I have these little round perforated pizza pans I bought from Amazon a long time ago after I got my Instant Pot air fryer oven back here. It's just like an oven, only it keeps your house cooler and it cooks in a snap. I just love it. Anyway, I'm going to lightly spray each one of these with just a little bit of non-stick. Just to make sure nothing sticks. I like everything that can be, easy to clean up, and that helps. And again, these are the Sara Lee, and if you scan them, they're only 2 points per pita. which is awesome. Others are 6. So now I'm going to take the hummus, take 2 tablespoons of hummus. I'm going to fast forward, but I'll show you what I'm going to do in a second. But I'll take 2 tablespoons of hummus, and I'm going to spread it on top of each pita. Then I'm going to put the ham on, and then the vegetables on. Then I will put the feta cheese, reduced fat feta cheese. I think it calls for, because I'm going to fast forward so I won't be able to explain, although this will be in the recipe, but the reduced fat feta cheese is 4 tablespoons, so it's 1 tablespoon per pita. And then I have 13 little olives, well actually these are large olives sliced up, makes 4 tablespoons. Each one gets a tablespoon. This is all in there. And then I'm going to, this is fresh mint out of my yard, and if you want to use mint, so that's kind of a classic for Mediterranean dishes, or you can use fresh basil. And so I'm going to chop this all up, and I'm trying to see again how much, I think it said 8 leaves, yeah. So, or to taste, however you like it. So I'm going to do this, and I fast forward. Be right back. Okay, everything is all on top now. As you can see in my fast forwarded video, I've got all the ingredients, rest of them put on top, and some of my fresh mint from my yard, very potent. My husband can smell it across the room. It smells so good. And so now it's ready to go. You can put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 10 minutes, or you can put it in the air fryer oven, my Instant Pot air fryer oven I'm going to use. Doesn't heat up my house, like I said. And I can cook 2 of these in there. So I will cook it, bake it for 3 minutes at 400. Then I will take them out and swap the trays. So one's back on the top so they get even. And then cook it for probably about 3 more minutes. And then it'll be all done. I think I'm going to go ahead, since I have plenty of olive oil in the recipe and it only takes a little of the spritzer, I'm going to spritz a little bit on top of the vegetables, especially because of the mushrooms. Just a tiny little spritz here. Doesn't put out much, and that'll give it a little bit of extra flavor. So now it's going to go in the oven. Like I said, you can do 400 degrees in a regular oven for about 10 minutes or so till they're nice and, kind of brown. You can also grill these on a grill for about 8 to 10 minutes until the bottoms start to darken. Originally, my daughter made this about 15 years ago, I remember, and it was on a grill, and it did get a little kind of dark on the bottom, but I really liked it because they were very crispy. But they prefer to bake them now, they said. So it's going to go in the oven. Be right back. Okay, it's all done. I cooked it, or I should say baked it, in my air fryer oven, like I said, at 400, around 3 minutes, one side, and then switched the trays and did 3 more minutes. It was perfect. And then when I took them out, I lightly spritzed them with my little spritz bottle here of olive oil, and just give it a little bit of extra flavor. It keeps it from being dry. I had plenty of hummus left because I have 2 more to put back in there. And so you can even use a little more hummus if you want, if you're doing the homemade hummus, because it's 0 points. So slather it on. Anyway, so if you would like this recipe, you can find it on my website, the printable recipe, at amazinghealthyrecipe.com, amazinghealthyrecipe.com. And you'll find all my recipes and my videos there on my website. And I hope you enjoy these recipes. I hope they're a blessing to you. That's all I want to do, and to help people get healthier. And also, it keeps me accountable and keeps my health in check. So here's another good recipe of Mediterranean pizza. Enjoy. See you on my next video. Bye-bye. Stay safe.